Hey there, everybody. All right, let's have an honest talk here and tough love discussion about the Nikon Z8. So it was announced 2 days ago, and I've had 2 nights to sleep on it and think about it. And for the past couple of days, there's been this dissonance. It's like I know that Nikon made a misstep here. It's a missed opportunity. And I've been thinking about it. Like, why do I feel that way? And there's a number of reasons. And all I'm trying to do is offer an alternative perspective to the influencers who got the camera for free 6 months ago. This is what I need. This is what I want. This is what makes me happy. And these are the things that give me nightmares. And if you're interested in that, watch on. If you're not, hey, there's other videos out there, okay? But this is going to be an alternative perspective, tough love, and an honest discussion. With that disclaimer, with those disclaimers out of the way. So the Z8 has a weight problem. That's number one, okay? And what do I mean by that? Well, innovation is lighter, cheaper, stronger, faster, smaller, okay? That's innovation. A nice mix of those improvements, because all of those things are improvements. Okay, if you can make it lighter, stronger, faster, smaller, cheaper, awesome, right? The Z8 is none of those things. All right, now you could say, well, it's faster. It's not faster than Z9. I mean, that's already out there, right? Well, it's lighter and smaller than a Z9. Okay, but it's not lighter and smaller than a A7R5 or an A1 or a Canon R5 or a Nikon Z7 II or, okay? So the competition, so in 2018, the Z8 would have been a hit. I mean, obviously it wouldn't have had the stacked sensor because that's, recent technology. But in 2018, everybody wanted a D850 mirrorless. And in 2018, a non-stacked sensor Z8, exactly the way it is in the body it's in, would have been a huge hit. In 2023, not so much. And now why do I say that? Well, because the competition has moved on and has redefined the category. All right, this is my argument. If you go by the weights, a Canon R5 is 1.6 pounds or 738 grams. A Sony A7R5 is 1.6 pounds or 723 grams. A Nikon Z7 II is 1.4 pounds or 615 grams. An A7 IV, which is not a high resolution, well, it's scratch and 33 megapixels, is 1.4 pounds, 658 grams. It's even heavier than the 45 megapixel Z7 II. Okay. And all those cameras are smaller than the Z8. All right. So there's a pattern there. Okay, there's a trend. And what that means is that most photographers now are used to cameras that weigh about 1.4 to 1.6 pounds. If they want to make a commitment to a heavier, bigger camera, they're going to get an R3 or a Z9, right? There's always that option. But in the lighter weight category, it's no longer 2 pounds like it was with the K1 or the D850 DSLRs, right? That category has been redefined to 1.6, 1.4, 1.5 pounds. Let's say 1.5 pounds for brevity. So what Nikon's released is the equivalent of a big cell phone, a big brick cell phone, into a market that has moved on to little Nokias, the little tiny Nokias. It's a weird camera. And the problem is, and the reason why it's a weird camera is because it's 2023. If this were 2018, it's not weird at all. It makes perfect sense. Obviously without the stacked sensor. But it still makes perfect sense in 2018. In 2023, Nikon built a camera that was perfect for 2018. But throwing this camera into the 2023 market, it's a sour note. All right. If you're looking at it at the big picture, if you're a if you have Nikon blinders on and all you are is in the Nikon ecosystem and you can't see beyond it, which is kind of where Nikon had to be in order to release this camera or create this camera. Okay. If you have Nikon blinders on, it's awesome because you haven't moved on since 2018. I'm just saying, like I said, this is going to be tough love, right? But if you've tried an A7R4 or an A7R5 or a Canon R5 or even a Nikon Z7 II, like the Z8 makes no sense at all. If I wanted a Z8, I'd buy a Z9. Right? I mean, I already had that option. There's no innovation here. There's nothing new. And that's the problem. And it really makes me question my relationship with Nikon. Okay, because I'm getting Pentax flashbacks to when Pentax, couldn't pull their finger out and they never made, they were dying and they died and they never made anything new and we were always waiting for something new. Well, and then when they did come out with something new, it was the same thing that they made 3 years ago with a repackaging. I mean, Pentax flashbacks, that's what I'm suffering from here. Because when a camera company starts rebadging Tamron lenses, that's what Pentax did. And when a camera company since 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, in 5 years, Nikon's come out with 3 cameras. What do I mean by that? Well, the Z30, the Z50, and the ZFC are the same guts with different trimming. Okay. It would be like Chevy they already do that, making the same car and just changing the bumpers. They've done that for years, okay? But camera companies don't do that, all right? So the Z30, the Z50, and the ZFC are the same camera. The Z6, the Z6 II, the Z7, and the Z7 II are all the same camera. The Z9 and now the Z8 are the same camera, just with the battery grip chopped off, all right? So in 5 years, Nikon's come out with 3 cameras. And all the upgrades, and it feels like they've come out with more than that, but they haven't. They've just upgraded, the bumpers. So, and rebadging Tamron lenses. So, I'm just saying, a camera company that's doing well doesn't do that. Right? Fuji doesn't do that. Canon doesn't do that. Sony doesn't do that. They don't rebadge other people's lenses. Maybe Sony does. I don't know. Got to be careful. So, does it make a difference? It makes a difference in the sense that it doesn't make a difference in terms of image quality. The Z7 II with some of those lenses is absolutely superb. But the things I don't like about the Z7 II are not going to be addressed anytime soon. And I'm in that holding pattern that I was with Pentax, where it's not really the camera I want to shoot with, but I'm going to put up with it until they come out with something I like. I got to be tough love, and I got to be tough love to myself, too. That's bullshit. That's pure, unadulterated bullshit. I can't, If I get stuck with a Fuji X-T5 and a Fuji X-H2 for the rest of my life, if the music stops, which it could, because of the, economic situation, right? If I get stuck with a Fuji X-T5 and an X-H2 for the rest of my life, I'm okay. I'm good with those cameras. I am perfectly happy shooting those cameras. I'll put it to you this way. I'm not waiting for the next Fuji. I'm not waiting for the X-T6. I could care less. If they never come out with an X-T6, the X-T5 is where I want to be. It's got everything I want. And the X-H2, same thing. So can I say that about the Z7 II? No way. And the Z8 is what's brought all this into critical sharpness. And again, this is an alternative perspective. I tend to be a contrarian, but I've been doing this for a long time. And I know and again, this is for what I want, for what I like, for what I need, for what makes me happy. And I'm just offering my opinion out there so that if someone else is wondering why maybe the Z8 announcement isn't quite resonating with them. Maybe these points will help you understand why that is. That's what I'm on about here. So, okay, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We'll see you out there. Good luck, everybody.